Welcome to Master Domaining. I'm Gene Pimentel, and today we're going to talk about panning for gold in expired domain lists. One of the most important resources for domain flippers is the never-ending supply of expired domains. Did you know that close to 100,000 domain names expire every single day? It's true, and it's exciting. Among those 100,000 domains, you'll always be able to find many very marketable domain names, and in fact, you'll often find domain names that are so good, you'll be rushing to the nearest registrar to grab it before someone else does. It's a lot like panning for gold. You have to sift through a lot of dirt to find the glittery, valuable domain names. So this brings up a couple of questions. How do you get a hold of a list of all the expired and expiring domain names every single day? Doesn't that take a ton of work? Well, actually, no, it's quick and easy. How do you possibly go through 100,000 domain names every day to find the great ones? Well, there are several different techniques, and I'll show you one of the most basic methods today. First, we need to get our hands on a list of all the domains that are expiring. There are quite a few resources on the web that gather this information for you, but the best one, in my opinion, is called namejet.com. Let's go grab a list of today's expiring domain names right now. And here we are at Namejet, Namejet.com. Namejet is an aftermarket domain service. What that means is they capture a lot of the expiring domain names and put them on the market themselves, and they run an auction, and they also take back orders on domain names you may want. But we'll get to that in another session, but in this session we're talking about expired domain names and expiring domain names and where to get the list. Well, it's very easy. Click on the Downloads button right here. This brings you to a page where there are pending deletes. That means these are names that are ready to be available to the general public within hours. And as it says here, pending delete lists are compiled daily at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. List availability is subject to the availability of the registry. So they produce a daily list of all the expiring and expired domain names. The ones that are just about to expire are these for Wednesday, February 4th, and that's tomorrow morning. So if we open this list, and of course you can save it, or you can just open it in one of your applications. I use a text editor, so I'll just open it in that. And here is the list of expiring domain names for February 4th, 2015. And if I scroll down, we can see how many there are on the list. This list has a total of 91,835 domain names that are expiring tomorrow. Now, of course, it would take forever just to go through the list visually and just try to pick out the ones that look good. You can do that as, spot checking here and there, but it would take you hours to go through the list every day. So what you do is use a text editor like I'm doing and use the search feature in that text editor to find certain keywords that you might want to go after. For example, I'll type in autos and see what comes up. This domain is 129 Auto Sales. And 129 was probably the address or the route number where the auto dealership was at. So it's probably a place that went out of business. Naturally, you're going to have to sift through a lot of dirt to find the decent ones. And as you're going through the list, once in a while you'll find one that just pops out at you, and whether or not it's worth anything doesn't matter at this point. You just want to grab the ones that look like they have some potential. Just copy them and paste them into a separate notepad. This one I'm going to put aside. It's called Jack's Auto Services, just so I can investigate that a little more in depth later. So I'll open up a separate notepad and paste it in. McLaren Auto Service, I'm going to grab that one. Now, I'm not registering these at this point. I'm just collecting names that look like they may have potential. And there are a lot of ways to figure out what has potential and what doesn't, and that's a subject for another day. Today, I'm just showing you how to go through the expired domain list to find some potential domains. So we're back at the top of the list. I'm going to try a different keyword. Let's try landscaping and see what that brings us. ASAP Landscaping Company. I'm going to put that aside. Corwood Landscaping. I'll put that aside. Duncanville Landscaping. I'll put that aside. Englewood Landscaping. That sounds like it may have potential. So I'm not going to go through the whole list with that. There are thousands and thousands of different keywords you can do this with, whether they're lawyers, dentists, massage therapy, landscaping, roofing, insurance, photographers, bridal shops, hair salons. There are thousands of different keywords you can search for in these expired domain lists. And the best approach is to focus on industries that have a lot of cash flow going through them, because those are the industries that can afford to buy domain names. Let's try a different keyword. Let's try roofing to see what comes up. Localroofingexperts.net. That would have been a great one if it was a .com. I'm going to pass it up because it's a .net. So today's list doesn't have much for roofing. So let's try something else. Let's try real estate. And I'm searching that as one word, real estate, without the space, because that's how it would appear in the list. Butters Real Estate. I'm going to grab that one, put that aside for now, because I believe Butters is a surname. That's an interesting one. Copywriterrealestate.com. I'm not going to grab that one because it's just a little too awkward. Crumb Real Estate, that's a surname. And the reason I tend to like surname keywords is because there can be many with the same surname in that industry, so you have different prospects to market to. Now, names like this that say the full name of the person, Elaine Harper Real Estate, I wouldn't touch those because there probably aren't that many Elaine Harpers in real estate. If it was Elaine's Real Estate or Harper Real Estate, then it would be worth something. Foliage Real Estate, that has potential. Hobson Bay Real Estate, I don't know where that is, but it sounds like a geographic location. So I'm going to stop here with this list. And again, keep in mind that I barely scratched the surface of the potential of this particular list. And there are lists like this every single day. So if you compile a list of your keywords in advance, keywords of industries that you want to deal with and that you want to approach with domains, and then open these lists and do a quick search through the list for those keywords, that's the basic technique of using an expired domain list. Now, does that mean that these domain lists will be available in a couple of hours? Not all of them, but many of them will be. So tomorrow I'll run these through to see which ones are available. And from the ones that are available, I'll do a little bit more research to see what the potential is for finding prospects to buy them. Some of the domains like Duncanville Landscaping and Englewood Landscaping, depending on the size of these towns, and there's a Corewood Landscaping, depending on the size of the towns and how much competition there is in the local area for landscaping, these can be very valuable domain names. So remember, the expiring domain lists at namejet.com is a resource you should be tapping into regularly, and keep a list of your own desired keywords and do a search for those keywords in the list. Yes, it takes a little time, but remember, we're panning for gold that can be turned into very worthwhile cash. And tomorrow we'll go one step further and you'll learn how to use a nifty piece of software to speed up this entire process.